Coming up on a Get Loud podcast, we'll recap that dominating victory against the Browns.
The Browns.
We'll look ahead to the Ravens.
Oh, can't wait. Is the better of the Beltway for real?
And we'll talk to the youth of America.
The youth, come on in. Get loud with us.
How you doing, everyone? It is the Get Loud podcast presented by SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of your Washington Commanders. Michael Jenkins, Fred Smoot.
Jinx.
How good does this feel?
It's easy to work on days like this,
It
Jinx.
sure is.
I've been smiling for the last month, you know? I always said if I was in a comic book, I would be the Joker. And right now, I really feel like that because I just been happy and I just been sending people all kind of stuff that, you know, over the years, I had to take so much from my cousins, from my friends. And now to be able to spew it
Send it
back.
back.
To them. Visceral. I enjoy it, Jinx. Listen, right now, if you're a Washington fan and you're not loving this, you don't got to post. You ain't got to post. This is the beginning of something sustainable, all right? Mm-hmm. And now this week we get to go up to our neighbors, all right, with an updated version of their quarterback and say, okay, let's go to war, all right? So, hey, I don't think I can say it's Baltimore is Omar coming to town.
You just drop a wire reference. Here's the thing is that I've talked to a lot of fans, heard from a lot of fans. I know you have too, and there's sort of this hesitation.
Yes, they're scared. You believe it's real.
It's, hey,
Yeah.
we've been down this road before.
Yeah.
But isn't this, it is different.
Everything about it is different.
Yes.
All right, come on, man. We just had a cleansing go on from the top to the bottom. 70% of these players weren't even here. Our quarterback was in college last year. All right? The ownership, the head coach, the quarterback, everything has been, how should I say, on the same wavelength. Mm-hmm. Everybody's pointing in the same direction, working for the same thing. This is sustainable. This is not a sugar high. This is not a sugar rush. Right? Mm-hmm. This is, we're here, we're up here, and we're looking. And we're wondering, is it real? Yeah. Yes, it's real. I had to do this in the postgame show where I had to give fans permission to enjoy it.
Yes.
You can enjoy it. It's real. Don't let the PTSD do it to you. All right? Yes, we had a pass. All right, but the team we played yesterday, the Browns, that's why I say the Browns fans could be pound for pound the best fans in sports.
Because they've been through it.
They've been through it, and they still there. They still repping. They still no excuses, all right? So I respect them in a different way. But what we got now, I give you permission. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. It's real. Talk trash to Cowboy fans. Talk trash to Giant fans. Talk trash to Eagle fans. We are the kings of the East right now. We are the kings, and you know how quick things can turn in football.
Yeah.
Enjoy it now.
And what's crazy, and we'll get into the specifics of this game, what's crazy to me is this was like watching a college blowout. This is the NFL.
Yeah.
Where you're taking your starters, or you're taking your quarterback out early in the fourth because it's over. That doesn't happen in the National Football League.
No, it doesn't happen. But when you feel like you got something wrapped up, and I got to say this, you don't take your quarterback out unless you feel like the other team ain't a threat. Mm-hmm. And we didn't feel like they was a threat because Deshaun Watson, I'm going to tell you like this.
Bad.
Maybe he retired 2 years ago and didn't tell nobody, but I have never seen quarterback play like that. Like, from where he's gone, from here to here, talent-wise, I don't think I've ever seen a decline like that. Mm-hmm. And I said his talent is still there. The legs are still there. His arm is still his arm. I just think quarterbacks are used to being propped up on a pedestal and loved since they've been in high school.
Also, this Washington defense sacked him 7 times on Sunday.
Yeah, but you would think a guy would be like, okay, back against the wall.
Right.
Nobody likes me. Let me go out here and win them over with my game, with my play.
He looks
done. Like I've seen guys do it, all right? Before the season over, they're going to probably end up benching him. I see that happen now. But how do you bench $230 million, $250 million?
I forget the exact number, but if they can't cut him before June the 1st, if they do, they are on the hook for over like $100 million. They're going to have to wait. They're going to have to take a hit like the Broncos did with Russ.
With Russ.
Yes.
They're going to have to sacrifice right there. That's what they're going to have to do because the offense that the Browns got him playing is not conducive to his skill set. Mm-hmm. But that's what they want to be. So maybe Jameis Winston might be a better starter for them in that offense because they are running offense and they can't do that with Jerome Ford. Like they cannot run the ball with a beat-up offensive line. So they saying, hey, we played you $200 million. How about you go out there and win the game? And I saw balls just floating over, like overthrows, late window throws, just mistakes that a first-year you would think the first-year quarterback was on the Browns team.
That's the thing. Is it the best quarterback in this game? Plays for us. The guy with the unlimited future plays for us. And the thing about Jaden yesterday was he left some meat on the bone in that game.
Yes.
Plenty of plays, and still had those wow moments, whether it was that deep pass to Terry, whether it was that dime in the corner of the end zone, whether it was taken off, Diami, which you called during the pregame when we were talking. So when you can have a game where you're quote-unquote off and still dominate, that's saying something.
Well, first of all, his first couple of games, we were like, he can't keep this up. They too perfect. Nobody throws for 90% pass percentage and 85%. I was like, when he got to come down to earth soon. Well, we seen him come down to earth, and his coming down to earth still damn good. Like, that's what you got to be excited about. When he makes mistakes, he not too high, he not too low. This kid, from the first 5 games, poise. That's what I want to talk about. He rattled you. He's showing that I won't be rattled.
He doesn't get rattled.
I don't care about an interception. I don't care about a fumble. I don't care about a bad play. It's all about the next play to me. And what we're seeing when I say ground zero, this is the worst to me he going to ever be. So if you're going to get him, you better get him now.
And the crazy thing is, as dynamic as he is, this is a balanced offense.
Oh, we run the ball.
Oh, yeah. B-Rob can run the ball. And then Austin Eckler, what a great pickup he has been.
McNichols.
And good for him. He has played for 10 teams in the National Football League. And getting some run, he has earned it. He is, and that speaks to the culture of this team. Because you may not be a quote-unquote superstar, but guess what? You've earned it because you keep grinding, you keep working. And that really is the mindset.
Think about some of the players we got that was cashed off. Jeremy Chins of the world. Cashed off. All right, Frankie Louvu, they like, nah, we ain't paying you. Well, we will. All right? It was nothing like playing in front of y'all. And every time I make a play, them saying smooth, it became addictive.
Has to be.
It's addictive. I want to do that for Louvu. So when he makes plays, I want y'all, all 80,000. Louvu. So I want one side to say Lou, and I want the other side, boo. I want that. Please give that to him. And it's going to become addicted to him. They're going to want to hear it more and more. It's something about when they ground get to shaking and they're saying your name, that does something to you.
And I'm sure you've seen the videos of him doing his Samoan war chants.
I love it.
They are amazing. And what I love is you see everyone else buying in, ready for it, wanting it. The culture, right? I know culture is used a lot in sports, but it makes a difference, and you can see it with this team.
First of all, culture is everything.
Yes.
Culture is how you go about. Culture is who's leading us and where are you leading us. That's culture. Coach Quinn, he's defining where I'm leading you. And not only is he saying this is how I'm going to lead you, this is where we're trying to go. This is how we're going to get there. He's giving you the what, the whys, the when. That's true leadership. But leadership starts from the top, all right? At the end of the day, it's been so refreshing to see the Harris group put their money where their mouth is.
They get it.
They understand it's only one way to win, and it's synergy. And we have a great synergy right now. It's everything right now, even with the fan base. Like you say, they are kind of scared to celebrate greatness. I don't know why. Don't let the
you don't want to be let down again. It's like when you've been in a relationship and you had your heart broken. It's like, I don't want my heart to get broken.
But guess what? That's the way you stay single. That's how you stay single in this world. Because whoever you're going to date in the future had nothing to do with your past.
You got to open yourself up to it.
You got to open yourself up to being vulnerable, to understand that the only way I'm going to be loved is to give love back. Just because I chose to give my love to the wrong person don't make love wrong. It make my decision making wrong. Not love. Right? So at the end of the day, if you give up on love, you giving up on yourself. So if you worried about what happened in 2012, it's 10 years plus ago. Come on. Move forward, not backwards.
No, this is like after my divorce.
Because
when I was done, I was like, I was worried. I'm like, I don't want to do, and I would date and I would say, I don't want to do this. I've been down this road. And then once I turned the corner and said, it's time to let this go and open yourself up to new things, what do you know? Found the love of my life, but I had to be open to it coming to me.
That's what I'm going to say. You could have not found the love of your life by being fickle. because I too have went through a divorce. And you know how divorces are. Like you said, at the end of it, I was like, you know what? I'm never getting married again. I most definitely said that. Turned out 6 months later, I'm back dating my wife after we got a divorce.
Right.
Like, let's just show you how crazy things are. Like, so no, you have to move forward. You can't worry about the past.
You know what I love when you talk about culture and you talk about family, and I was interviewing Gary Clark on the pregame show.
Yeah.
And I mentioned what you had said to me. And I said, I always talk to Smoot, and he says that he's talked to you, talking to Gary Clark, and he's always asked you what was the difference between when you played and when he played. And you always tell him we loved each other. We loved each other. And he said very definitively, look, if I have a problem with you, if I hear enough criticism of my family, my team, I'm going to let you know about it. Because we can criticize each other.
But you can't.
But you can't.
Yeah.
And to that point, when you talk about family, who did the game ball go to yesterday? Went to London.
London Fletcher.
Who has had a rough time, as we know personally over the last couple of weeks. But who gets the game ball? A member of the family. That's part of that culture.
No, that's part of being a human.
Yeah.
And so many times coaches come in this game and want to be militaristic about how they do stuff. All work, you're not humans, you're just here to play football. There's no way to live. Like, there's no way to be. And when somebody understands just being a human being is small things like saying hello to somebody. You don't know how that brightens their day up. If you hear about somebody in your family going through something, you don't ignore it like it's not going on. They brought it to the forefront and said, you know what, you ain't played a down in the last couple of years, but you still a part of what we got going on, and our heart goes out to you. That's everything, man. That's all you want.
And we're seeing everything click with this team offensively, with the culture, and defensively. What has gotten into this defense? Because, man, whether it's Luvu, whether it's Bobby Wagner continuing to set the standard, Mike Sanders still had a couple great hits, couple great plays.
Armstrong.
Even the arm, Dorrance was great. So now what looked to be a weakness early in the season has become a strength as well.
Well, first of all, Jinx, I told y'all, let grandmama cook.
You did say it.
I said, be patient, man. Like, everybody in this microwave society want things now. This group is 70% different players from last year. They needed plays. They needed time. They needed to troubleshoot. That's why Coach keeps saying we're right there. He keeps saying the defense is right there. But it's a maturation product going on right there. Like, you have to be able to be methodical in the way you think and do things on defense. We need to play together. They only 5 games in now. Like, they're going to be a better defense in week 10 than they are right now. They're learning how to play with each other. I'm learning what Bobby liking and what he don't like. Frankie might like to be a wild child and just get let off the leash. Like, we're learning what they need, and I think that's the whole thing. Understand, team building is a process.
Yes.
And we're in the process. And it's hard to notice where you're at when you're inside the process. This is not the end. Nobody's on this team is peaking in week 5.
Right. No, this is a team that's going to get better down the stretch, and a lot of young guys as well.
Yep.
Also, give us a call. We got your voicemails coming up.
Yes.
703-726-7419. Call us on the house phone.
Rotary.
We
got the rotary waiting on you, baby.
726-7419. Now, this week, Baltimore. And you know the hype. JD5 taking on Lamar Jackson. And that play Lamar made in that Bengals game. Where he fumbles the shotgun, falls to the ground, stiff arms a dude, rolls out, throws. I mean, that's as good as it gets.
I'm going to say this Lamar. That's the law firm of Lamar, and Lamar. Right? At the end of the day, we're so used to him doing this, but I think the biggest threat from Baltimore is King Henry.
Has it lost a step, by the way?
I think him and Lamar going to write a book called The King and I, as they try to take over the NFL like one play at a time. He's a runaway 18-wheeler. First of all, for him to be that fast, I think I had a nightmare about him last night. It's one of them things where I don't think fans get it. You see how
what do you mean?
Well, in the real world, I'm a pretty big human being.
Yeah.
On the football field, I'm average size.
Correct.
You put me besides the King Henry, I literally look like a Smurf. But you want me to hit him full speed. Full speed. Over.
I just laughed at the thought of seeing Derrick Henry coming at me and being like, I got to tackle this guy.
You know what? I would love.
I'm going to die.
I remember when they used to do the pros and the Joes. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see a fan. Just one of those fans that just be in there talking trash on X, Elon Musk app. The ones that get on there after the game and say so-and-so stinks. He sucks. He can't tackle. I would pay thousands of dollars just to see Derrick Henry demolish them. Like, just see him holding on to the leg of Derrick Henry while he drags him. Like, at the end of the day, he's a machine. And think about this running game. You have a 260-pound tailback. You have a 300-pound fullback. And you have a quarterback that's lightning in the bottom. Mm-hmm. For any defense that causes problems, that's going to cause problems. But on the good note, our defense practices against that every day.
Yeah.
And Jaden Daniels, our defense understands how to play against a running quarterback. Now the thing about it, it's going to be one of them days where cornerbacks make your money because we're going to have to load that box up. We're going to have to load that box up with them safeties and say, y'all going to have to beat us passing. Y'all going to we going to have to go there and force them to beat us in the air. That's what gives us a chance. And another thing that gives us a legit chance, we start very fast.
Yes.
And Baltimore not a good come-from-behind team. Because if you ask me, Fred, if you told me today it's going to be a shootout in Baltimore Sunday, I'm going to say, well, that plays for us.
Baltimore wants to run the ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We run the ball, but we score a lot. So if you told me it was a shootout, I'd be like, yeah, that'll probably play into our hands. But if you told me it was a grind-out 16-13 game, that plays into the hands of Baltimore. So it's one of them games. It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. I cannot wait. And fan base, meet me there. We need to take over this place. I want to take over downtown Baltimore. I really do.
That's going to be tough.
No, it ain't. It ain't going to be tough. We can take over this thing because the better of the Beltway is not a bitter rivalry. It's been one-sided of lately.
Yes.
But not a bitter rivalry. But what you going to do now when you go hunting and the rabbit got the gun? All right? That's the question. All right? So I personally want, because the one thing I can say does make this a rivalry. Washington represents the DMV. So we represent Northern Virginia, D.C., Southern Maryland.
Okay.
Baltimore always makes it very clear. We are Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore is Baltimore.
We're not part of the DMV.
Correct.
That's what you think. That's how it is. Okay. We're going to play that game with you. It's fine. But this is the battle of the Beltway. And now we on even footing ground. So let's see how this thing goes.
So when you look at Lamar Jackson versus JD5, what are some similarities? What are some differences that you see?
Oh, both of them got the wheels of a sports car. All right, they got the wheels of a sports car. I think one is somebody that came into the league. I think Lamar came into the league as a runner that was going to develop his passing skills over the years.
That's right.
I think when it comes to JD5, he's a thrower that just happened to be a good runner. So they're different in that way, where Lamar is more Michael Vick, JD is more Randall Cunningham.
I love that comp, by the way.
Yeah.
I know that's an older comp, but it's a really good comp.
It's because when you look at how they play, it's very similar. So as much as they are similar, they are different.
And Randall glides, or
like JD.
Yes, when you watch his highlights, he glides, and so does JD5. He just glides.
And then they had these long arms, but still got a tight release. So you would think they throwing motion to be elongated. It's not. It's compact. So in that, they are similar. Now, the thing about Lamar that has shown through time is when he having a bad game, it's a bad game. We haven't seen that from our guy yet. We haven't seen that, which is like he's going to have bad games.
Absolutely.
It's just going to happen. But to see him problem solve this game, he don't get rattled. He's not sporadic. Like, he'll make a mistake and you usually don't see that mistake again. So, like I say, very similar, but also very different.
Yeah. Before we get to our voicemails and pay bills, I wanted to ask you one more thing because you made this point on Command Center, and I thought it was a really good point, which was you called Jaden Daniels a triple threat.
Yes.
Which is, I'm not just going to pass the ball.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to run the ball.
Yeah.
I can pass on the run.
And
that is tough for – just because you can run and you've got an arm in the pocket doesn't mean you can throw on the run.
Patrick Mahomes is a triple threat. Like C.J. Stroud, when he wants to run, is a triple threat. Now, that's what we was wondering. Was he just going to lead the pocket in? Throw the do side.
Yep.
No. Now he's learning I'm going to lead his pocket and extend his play. That's how he hit Terry for 66.
Yep.
I'm going to get outside of this pocket, but my eyes are still down the field. And it's nothing hurts a defensive back than a wide receiver running his second route. See, that's what y'all don't understand. When he breaks their pocket, now Terry and the other guys break these routes off. So think about this. If you're the guy that's running a short route when he breaks out the pocket, now you go long. If you the guy that ran the long route when he breaks the pocket, now you come back towards him. So now I just stopped one route. DBs can't stop 2 and 3 routes. It just can't happen. So that turns him into something that's unstoppable.
Let's pay some bills.
Sure will.
Oh, I'm going to let Fred Smoot pay some bills here.
Pay bill. All right. I got you. The Get Loud podcast is brought to you by Bet365. Official sporting betting partner of the Washington Commanders. Bet on a range of NFL markets with the Bet365 app. Craft your own personalized bet slip with parlay. Access thousands of games with live streaming. Place your bet before the match or during the game. It's really up to you. Download the Bet365 app today and join 80 million members worldwide. Age 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right? And MWAA. We don't travel to escape life. We travel so life don't escape us. We dream of any place in the world, and in a blink of an eye, we're there. That's the wonder of flight. All I have to do is decide where to. Dulles International Airport. Let your imagination soar. Book your adventure today at flydulles.com/nonstop.
So, Pete, you have to tell us how you got started. You are on TikTok. You have a massive following, and you do a lot of funny stuff. You're a big Ravens fan. You're at UVA, and you actually create a lot of songs as well. First of all, are you from this area, and how did you get into the Ravens?
Yeah, so I am uniquely situated in that I was born in Baltimore, lived there for 7 years, and then moved to Richmond. And as you guys know, you guys used to have the training camps in Richmond. And so just a little bit getting into football. In Baltimore, I wasn't really a fan. I actually got Madden 13 when I had moved to Richmond. And if you know, in that game, Ray Lewis has this rousing introduction. And it was enough to get me into football, get me into the Ravens, get me into everything. So I start playing flag football. And before you know it, I know every player, in the game, and I'm just obsessed with it. And I credit actually my childhood friends a lot because their parents would take me to Commanders training camp. So I was always a Ravens fan, but I've had a lot of interaction with you guys' team.
We've been talking about this before you came on the show. When it comes to the Battle of the Beltway, is it a true one of those rivalries like Steelers, Ravens? Is it any vitriol? Because I don't feel like Commanders fans and Raven fans hate each other. So for it to be, I think it's a healthy rivalry. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of overlap, whether it's the Orioles and the Wizards, who have both been bad teams. And it's interconference where it doesn't matter. We're not vying for the same playoff spots. So I think really outside of the week where we play, we want to see everyone in the Beltway do well. I would love to see the Commanders do well because I know, having lived in Richmond, you guys have a good fan base. They've been dormant for a while because there hasn't been a lot to be excited about. But I know that when Washington sports are good, it's more fun for everyone involved.
Now, I like your musical interludes you do. Did that come from, hey, I'm a music lover, I like poetry, one day you were just sitting at home, you say, you know what? I'm finna put some lyrics to some of this film and see what happens.
Well, I think it's hilarious that you might think I have a musical background because if you listen, I think it's pretty clear my voice is not good. I'm just a football fan.
It's the best I've heard.
Yeah, but it's not bad.
You got a little something.
Well, I appreciate that, but mostly it's just you hear a name and it sticks with you. Or you hear a tune. There's no real science to it, but just listening and sometimes it comes to you and just wanting to express it in a creative way, I guess.
So when you started doing this on TikTok, was this a planned thing where you thought, all right, I feel like I found a niche here. I'm a big Ravens fan. I'm going to start doing this. Or did you just kind of fall into it?
Just fell into it. I mean, the biggest driver for me is I just love football, and I don't, whether I'm making an all 22 breakdown or a game recap or a musical parody. It's just, I want to express how much I love this game because it's just so fun to watch.
Did you ever play the game? Or did you just love it from afar? Because I heard you say you played flag football. So I'm thinking maybe you played football in high school or something.
Well, Smoot, I was a damn good YMCA flag football player. All right. If you saw me out there, you probably would have put a call into, I don't know who would have, I guess it would have been Gruden at the time and said, come get this kid. But no, I think parents never let me play tackle. And there was a point where, I mean, if you had asked me when I was playing flag football, I would have said, I'm going pro, probably, top 5 pick. But I at a certain point, you look down at your body and then you look at Myles Garrett and you say, you know what? I don't think I can hang with these guys.
You can't look at it like that because you got to realize the Olympics is putting flag football in there, not real football. They putting flag in there. So you have a chance to represent America. Like, don't let your flag football dreams be flushed down the commode, my friend.
They're not gone. You're telling me they're not gone, Smoot?
No, I'm telling you, it's a chance. All I'm saying is, why not represent America in L.A. in 4 years in flag football?
Hey, maybe you could still suit up, too. You can get out there with me.
No. These feet had no more miles on them. The one thing I understand is America we don't go to the old folks' home looking for talent. We don't do that, and that's where I'm at right now.
All right, so let me ask you this. When you see Lamar Jackson play, and Lamar was just out of this world against the Bengals, as you saw, do you see any similarities between what you have there with the Ravens and Jaden Daniels here in D.C.? I asked Smoot the same question because they're similar in some ways, but also very different.
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously Lamar was the first kind of player to do it, but yeah, it's whether it's just being elite erasers, like when the pocket breaks down. And I heard, Smoot, you were talking about how the second play is a big part of both of their games where, yeah, you can have the perfect play. You can even win on your pass rush rep, but you got to tackle this guy and then you got to cover players for sometimes 10 seconds. The design quarterback run game and just getting discredited as passers. Like, just because you can run doesn't mean you can't throw like everybody else. And I mean, both these guys have proven that, they're two of the best dual threats in the game.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's going to be a great back and forth game. Let me give you 2 scenarios. You tell me what you think. Let's say it's a shootout in Baltimore. Who you think's win the shootout?
The Ravens.
All right, so I say it's a tight game. Let's say 13-10. Who wins the dirty, murky game?
The Ravens.
No, man.
I know I sound like a homer.
You can't let your fandom. You got to erase that. We're talking about a team in Washington that's been averaging 30-plus points. Now, you know the one thing about Baltimore, they did get in a shootout with Cincinnati. Now, because them and Cincinnati, they're used to going back and forth. I don't think if we get in a shootout, I think then it leans to our way as the shootout team.
So explain to me, why do you think that?
Because the one thing Baltimore is not good at, they're not good at playing from behind. They are a front-running offense because they really want to run King Henry and lean on you and make it a shortened game. All right, and if you don't have that ability if you're down 10. You don't have that ability if you're down 14. Now you have to go into pass mode. And if the Ravens are in 2-minute mode most of the time, I think then the arrow goes back to Washington.
So I do agree with you that when this offense is at its best, it's through the run game and the pass off of that. But Smoot, we were down by 10 yesterday, and Lamar goes for 384 and 4 through the air. So I think this team has the personnel and the scheme to they can play from behind or they can play with a lead. This is just the most balanced offense of Lamar Jackson's career.
Well, it's so funny that y'all did that in Cincinnati and y'all was down 10 and we was up 40 before the game was over with. So, if you look at how we played that team, both of us went to Cincinnati to play these guys. One of us with the game was over at halftime. Y'all was kind of a nail biter all the way to the end, don't you think, my friend?
That was definitely the high point for you guys so far this season, and there's another similarity between the two. But hey, both of us got the win, and that's all I care about.
Pete, before we let you go, for anyone who wants to follow you on TikTok, give us the details so we can check out your stuff.
Right now, I would say the biggest thing I'm doing is just these game recaps, fast paced, early in the morning. You're getting up, maybe it's before school, before work, and maybe you want to get the rundown on the game and don't want to just watch the raw highlights. So I talk you through it, and it's humorous and it's fun and it's fast paced. And then other times you don't know what to expect. It could be a breakdown. I did a video on Von Miller, all 22. Or like I said, it could be a song. You just don't know what you're going to get, but just know that I'm making it because I love it.
Hey, I got to ask you this now. You're on Virginia campus, right? As we speak. Do you do any Cavaliers information? Do you do anything? You just don't even mess with it?
No, I absolutely do. I'm the beat reporter for the student newspaper, so I go to every game, at least every home game. Go to the press conferences afterwards, and we're 4-1 right now, and all of a sudden, I mean, every Virginia adjacent team is getting it together. Right? So it's exciting, and yeah, I do some work with them, and then even some work with the NIL collective, because now athletes are able to get paid what they deserve.
We got to watch this guy. He coming for our job.
I know.
We got to watch this guy.
I was just thinking that. I was like, I got to log on and make a video today.
I hate to break the news to him. James Madison could be the best school in Virginia right now for this football. I'm sorry, James Madison.
Well, can I ask you, Smoot? I know you talked about how dynamic these new quarterbacks are, but I mean, you were a guy that picked off Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, and Brett Favre. Do you even recognize the guys that are under center in today's NFL?
Oh, yeah, I do, because in my generation, that's when the Mike Vicks started to come out. All right, we came out in 01, same class. So in the SEC, I was used to playing a lot of running quarterbacks. And now, like I was telling Jinx, they are not, to me, what they call legit runners. They are passers that happen to be fast. All right, and that's where the game is going. We talked about the broken play. You look at the game yesterday with Washington, that broken play to Terry, that's basically unstoppable. There's nothing we can draw up as a defensive coordinator, as a defense, to stop this. So, yes, I was in the forefront of what's happening now. That's so funny because the quarterbacks in my class, the top two, Michael Vick and Drew Brees. Two different guys.
Very different.
They get things done in a different way. Now what we see in football, them people married. Michael Brees, that's what we're seeing right now.
Drew Vick.
Be a heck of a player, that's for sure.
Hey, we appreciate the time. Good luck with everything, and we appreciate you being with us.
Sweet. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks, brother. We'll look forward to getting you back on again.
Let's pay some bills before our final block. You going to geek out on me?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You know, I love to geek out.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this. Commanders fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all of the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling tickets to Commanders football games or any other live event in D.C., SeatGeek is the place to do it. The official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders, the most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
I think you're going to like these geek outs because, usually I give you fun facts about locations and places. I'm going to switch it over this time to situations that happen that you probably don't know happened.
Okay.
All right, check this one out.
All right.
In 2003, two men stole a parked Boeing 727 from the airport, Luranda Airport, flew away into the sunset, and the plane has never been found.
What?
Yes, nobody has ever found this plane.
Never?
Never. They still looking for it. That they stole the empty plane.
How did not track that bad boy?
I don't know where the black box is. I don't know.
Good call with the black box.
I don't know why they couldn't find. Maybe they landed and just started to take the plane apart.
That's wild.
No, listen. When I read the story, I'm like, how could you not find this gigantic plane?
Yeah.
Like, where did they fly to, Mars? Like, how could you not find that plane? All right?
That's crazy.
This one you're going to really love.
Okay.
Because you partake in this.
Okay.
Hangovers.
Oh.
How much money per year do you think hangovers cost the U.S. economy?
Because of people calling in sick?
All kinds of side effects of hangovers.
God. It's got to be millions.
220 billion of lost productivity last year alone.
220 billion?
220 billion. So that means after a game like yesterday, where the fans consumed so much alcohol,
Yes.
that's why traffic is thinner on Mondays than any other day.
Yeah. It's a Victor Monday. You're staying home.
So you got to
waking
realize,
up early.
you got to talk about the lost time at work. You got to talk about
Even just slower productivity. Like you might go into work, but you might not do anything.
you might be useless.
Right.
You might be useless. But I would think it'll put back into the economy because how many BCs or Advils or Tylenols?
Did you drop a BC headache powder?
Yeah. Hey, listen, BC is still a go-to. You don't think so?
Hey, let me tell you something. It's old school, but it works.
It works now.
Yes.
It works now. All right. So at the end of the day, I understand. Like, I had to look at that number. Like, come on, 200. And then I thought about it. This goes all the way to the biggest job, a CEO of a company, to the smallest job at McDonald's.
It's true.
Like, I can understand, but 220 billion.
You might make 85 Big Macs a day, but if you're hungover, drops down to 62.
That's what I'm saying. But that's a lot of money to be lost.
Oh, yeah.
Because of hangovers. And nobody would have ever thought we was losing that type productivity to alcohol.
That's good.
I love
That's
it.
good. Andy, you got some voicemails for us?
I do. Are you ready?
Oh, we always
By the way,
ready.
how's the family doing? Anna's family was in town this weekend.
First of all, they came to the game. I got to talk to Anna's
you talked to
mom and dad. Just good to see them out of Colorado.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Good to see them out of Colorado to come join the East Coast where everything is green and lush over here, you know?
I know my dad wants to take you trout fishing.
He did offer me, and I'm going to take him up on that. I'm a fly fisherman.
All right. Happy to hear that. And we went on a 36-mile bike ride on e-bikes.
Did you really?
Yeah, that was I have some regrets because
I feel say it was electronic
it's an electric
bikes.
bike,
Yeah.
but they were like, you have to keep it on the lowest setting. Oh. You have to keep it on the lowest setting. So then getting the bike started, it was like really heavy, and I almost hit a few people on my bike. So if you were on the trail, the Mount Vernon Trail going from DC to Alexandria on Saturday, I'm sorry if I almost hit you.
Yeah.
That was Anna.
That was me. That was me, and I'll own it.
Well, she was going to hit you doing every bit of 3 miles per hour, so you was going to be okay.
Oh, yeah. You would have been fine.
Yeah.
You would have been
Listen,
fine.
you would have been okay.
It would just would have, yeah. Anyways, all right. We ready for our first call in?
Yes, we are.
Let's do it.
All right.
Smooth, Jinx, Anna, and Caleb. Hey, it's your boy John, a.k.a. Traveling Jay in the USA.
Traveling Jay.
Hey, guys, just wanted to touch on some few things and let you know where I'm at, and I am safe. Smoot was right. Minneapolis was great. And actually, when I went to St. Paul in that area of Minneapolis, I had one of the best hot dogs I ever had in my life. People are super friendly, and it is so pretty through that area and through Minnesota. Unfortunately, I was only able to touch I got to touch all the states up in the Northwest, but I was only able to touch on Montana a little bit on the right-hand side there, the southeast area. Got to see a lake that was beautiful and clean and everything, but there's so many wildfires going on. I had to zig and zag, but I was able to touch every state. Let's please keep in mind the poor folks that are affected by all these wildfires up there. You wouldn't believe it's like 20-some, I think. Once I got into it, I had to research it a little bit. It's like 20-some in 6 states. So I didn't want to put myself in harm's way. I got my daughter's wedding coming up, like I had mentioned, and I just kind of touched some of the states because that was my goal, was to hit all 48 states on this trip. Down, I think, I have to go back and check double, but I think I'm down to close to 40 now. I'm just now leaving Sim City. That's all I can say about it.
I bet it is.
It was a great time, and I got to sleep in the bed for the first time in about a month, so that was cool. Heading to Austin, I think, in Texas. I'm going to check out that. I've always wanted to go and check out the local scene and that kind of thing. So let's get to something more real important, like the Commanders. What are we doing? Oh, my God. This brings me back to when I was a younger man, and we were winning Super Bowls, and I'm so excited for our team and our fan base. And you guys are kicking it, giving such great content and doing such a great job, man. It's wonderful. And let me give a shout-out to Logan Paulson. And the words of what Smoot would call the Joseph, he is super smart. I'm going to tell you what, that guy knows his football. He was one of my favorite players during that era because he was one that would go over and pick people up when they got knocked down, and that wasn't happening a lot back in those days. And he would pat him on the back or give him a high five when everything was going on. He was always there with enthusiasm, so that's cool. I guess my only thing I got to and continue on this trip. My question would be this week is, Smoot, what do we need to do to keep this going like this? I mean, can we sustain this? I hope so.
Traveling Jay, it's always an honor to hear from you. I told you Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, beautiful.
You were talking about
it's
that.
It's a hidden gem. I tell anybody, if you haven't been there, you have to take a trip to Minneapolis. I suggest you go in the summer. Home of 10,000 lakes. That's where the L.A. Lakers started at. It's water everywhere. The Mississippi River is coming down through there. It's a tech-heavy city. It's very artsy. Minneapolis, Minnesota, must trip. Traveling Jay, how did you get from Minneapolis to Vegas in that time? And the question is, did he stop in the Dakotas and see Mount Rushmore?
I don't know.
Because, see, I have made that drive. Now, the drive he just made from Minnesota to Vegas, Traveling Jay, you are a monster, all right? First of all, and I hear that he's coming through the DMV area. Well, when he comes to the DMV area, Traveling Jay, I got 2 tickets waiting on you for the game. Don't you worry about that. I know my mate want to talk about the fact that you're stopping in Austin.
Great state of Texas.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you know what? Tell Bevo hello for me, Traveling Jay. Do that.
That's what you want?
Yeah.
That's what you want? You feeling good about your Longhorns right now, ain't
Number
you?
one in the country.
Especially with Alabama going out.
Also, Oklahoma, Georgia in back-to-back weeks. That's going to be tough. But let me ask you this because it's related.
Yeah.
Texas, number 1 for the first time in a long time.
Since Vince Young, right?
Yes, since Vince Young, or since 2008, I think, when Colt McCoy. Yep.
All right.
Commanders off to their best start, I think, since 2008, actually.
Yeah.
So when you're doing this well, Traveling Jay asked about this.
Yeah.
It's easy to just make assumptions and take things for granted.
Yeah.
And say, hey, we're just going to keep winning. But especially in the NFL,
yeah,
so tough to do. How does this team keep from being complacent?
First of all, this is what we do got going for us. We're healthy. Like, we're healthy.
That's true.
We're healthy for the long part. So when you're healthy like that, it's no sporadic play. Like, everybody going to put their play where it's going to be at, and that's what you expect from them every week. We have a chance to make this sustainable, Traveling Jay, because we got Traveling JD5. When you got a quarterback, there go your standard right there.
That's good, by the way.
All right. And at the second of all, this offensive line.
I'll just admit, I thought weak spot for this team, and
what did I keep saying?
Let Grandma cook.
Let Grandma cook.
And also, you know what I like about them is that as the game wears on, they get stronger. They get stronger.
Yes, they do. Like, think about this, fan base. The last time we was great, we had the Hogs on offense, Dexter Manley, Charles Mann on defense. We controlled trench warfare. Football is dominated by the 300-pound guys that smell like a pack of bacon. All right? It's dominated by these guys. Mm-hmm. Right now, Biotish, Sam Cosme, they are forcing their will upon defensive linemen.
Yep.
You see 7 sacks, the defensive line and the linebackers getting after people. That's what makes it substantial. Quarterback, trench warfare. We're doing both of them at a high level right now.
And what did John Allen say after the game on Sunday? I've never seen a group of guys this hungry.
Yeah.
Like, they want it.
Hey, hungry dogs will bite you. Hungry dogs will bite you. So, yeah, that makes it substantial.
All right. Last voicemail, and we'll end the show on this one. All right.
Hey, what's up, Smoot? Man, I'm 18, right? And I'm just feeling good feelings with us having a good team, right? And my question is I'm young, right? I've never been alive for a good Washington football team, right? My question is just how good, because this feels great for me. Like, I've never experienced anything like this before. How good does this feel for you guys? That's my question for y'all.
Ooh.
All right, I'll see y'all.
It feels like that first time your mama take you to Corvell. And that first time, you taste that ice cream, and you like, I want to eat ice cream every day for the rest of my life. When you, like, the first time you successfully ride your bike down the street, the freedom that comes with it, the excitement that comes with it. this is beyond exciting. And it's only beyond exciting because this is just the beginning. Jaden Daniels is 5 games old. 5 games old. Do you know how bright the future is? The future's so bright, I need eclipse shades to look at it.
Yep.
This is way more exciting than RG3. I don't want to take nothing away from that time. It was the city was on fire. Right now the city is bedlam. Right?
Yep.
The fan base is sure and unsure. It's like somebody drinking liquor in a Red Bull. I don't know if they tired. I don't know if they energetic.
Right.
Like it's so good that it's scary. Mm-hmm. That's how good it is. It's so good that the talk of the NFL right now, it's the nation's capital.
That's right.
All right? The player they talking about is JD5 and the rest of the gang. And guess what they doing? Paying it no attention. That's the most promising thing about it. This group, if you walk through this building right now, they ain't around here laughing, cheering it up. They right back to work.
They're ready. They want to work.
So as an 18-year-old, I want to tell you this. The dark days are over. The days of going into a game and wondering if we even going to score are over. The days of going into a game and wondering, are we going to be competitive? Over. The days of knowing that we ain't got a quarterback and the other team do, they are over. So yes, I am happy.
It's a good sermon. The days of not having a quarterback are over. The days of struggling are over.
Do I sound like a Baptist preacher?
The days of crying after these football games are over. We have a new savior.
Vote me in.
JD5.
JD5.
You know what it's like? It's like, didn't Eddie Murphy do a thing on this in Delirious or Raw where he was talking about you eat a saltine for a long time and you're like, then you get a Ritz?
Yeah.
You're like,
so this is what it tastes like?
this is a Ritz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is, all right? That's where we at. Accept it.
Oh, it's a great time. I think we got to wrap it up. Even Anna's like, all right, guys, we got things to do.
I really want to talk to you for another hour.
I know. Yeah. We got to hang talk with. Do it again.
Hey, we will. I do owe you a steak. Hook 'em on.
Oh, put 'em up. That's it. That's a Get Loud podcast. We'll see you next week.